This podcast is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our ABCC's podcast. My name is Marcus once again, and we have Alan with us again here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi. So this time around, we'll be talking a little bit about some interesting topic that we managed to come up with, and this one is actually on sudden deaths of crypto key figures in 2022. So this was something that we thought is extremely interesting because it actually happened in 2022, and they are extremely unforeseen. So nobody knew and nobody could predict that this was going to happen. Like I mentioned, it's a sudden death. So especially due to the fall of FTX, crypto has made like huge headlines because of FTX, right? So that actually increased like the amount of attention given to like crypto and crypto news. So recently, actually in the past couple of months especially, some of the biggest names in cryptocurrency actually mysteriously passed away. So there have been things like conspiracy theories and requests for explanations have erupted a lot especially on the social media. And we're going to touch a little bit on some of them. And I think the very first one that we're going to touch on is the tragic death of this Russian businessman. His name is, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrongly, but his name is Vyacheslav Taran. So he actually is the one of the most successful businessmen in terms of being the co-founder of this investing platforms called Libertex and the other one called Forex Club. So in 2018, there was actually like accusations made of like a investor fraud against one of his investing platform, which is Forex Club. And users of the social media actually came out to argue that his tragic death actually was not a mere coincidence, and it had some kind of link with regards to what happened in 2018. So, but this, of course, remained highly unsolved, and he actually perished in a very mysterious helicopter crash in Monaco. And Taran is actually like the third Bitcoin entrepreneur that have passed away suddenly in recent months. So his helicopter crash at the tourist resort in France, it took off from Switzerland and it immediately killed like the 53-year-old Taran as well as the 35-year-old French pilot who flew with him. And in fact, it all seems very strange because during the crash, right? I mean, when the crash happened, it was during an excellent weather scenario. Means like the weather could not have affected the crash. And it was also following the reported last-minute cancellation of the flight by another passenger. So that as in a little bit more strangeness, if I can say, to what actually happened. And this actually raised a lot of questions about a possible foul play. And of course, the deputy prosecutor that visited the scene said that a third party's involvement cannot be ruled out due to all these factors. So that's extremely, I would say, extremely scary because all these things actually point towards like a certain kind of foul play. And even the deputy prosecutor has said so as well. Of course, according to the Daily Mail, Taran is actually billionaire crypto entrepreneur, and he had possible connections to Russian Foreign Intelligence Service. I'm just quoting what the Daily Mail has said. And of course, they also said that this is claimed by the Ukrainian news agency UNIAN, but there wasn't any supporting documentation. So yeah, this what actually happened to Ran, who is, I suppose, is the most recent crypto key figure that suddenly just passed away.
Okay, so thanks, Marcus. Another crypto key figures who passed away last year was a guy's named Tian Tian Kulender. He's a 30-year-old co-founder of a Singapore trading platform for virtual currencies known as Amber Group. So Amber Group, which has its value estimated at $3 billion according to the firm, and Kunanda, also known as Tian Tian or TT, who was passed away on November 23rd in his sleep. So according to the New York Post, the news comes as Amber Group was one of the hopes of landing a big investment and was reportedly in the process of raising around $100 million. Kunanda developed Amber into multi-billion-dollar financial unicorn. Not only that, he also held a position on the Fnatic board of directors, an esports organization. The only thing that could be established was that Kunanda passed away whilst asleep, and there was no more details were provided. So Amber Group said earlier in November 2022 that it was an active trading participant on the collapsed firm of FTX. So what's interesting is in the statement of 9th of November, Amber Group said that in the wake of FTX collapse, that they have a significantly reduced exposure over the course of the week, but they will still have withdrawals that have yet to be processed. So, however, the firm notes that the stuck assets represent less than 10% of the whole Amber Group total trading capital, and did not pose a threat to the business operation or liquidity that were given. There were strict exposure limit on individual trading venues.
Yes, I think the passing of Tian Tian was one of the largest one that actually hit home for us. I mean, hit it straight into the hearts of us, because Tian Tian actually visited Singapore quite often, and I believe that he was also residing in Hong Kong quite often as well. And that news actually, when we saw it, everybody felt it. And moving on, the next one is this guy called Nikolai Mushigins. Nikolai Mushigin is someone that is actually very interesting, and most people who have been in the crypto space and the OGs in the crypto space should know this guy. He's actually the co-founder of MakerDAO, and there was something extremely weird during his when he passed away. There was something very weird that happened. So just hours after he tweeted that he believed Israeli and American security agencies were planning to, take his life. Just hours after that, he was actually discovered dead in a lake in Puerto Rico. So what he tweeted was this, word for word, I'm quoting what he tweeted. CIA and Mossad and pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands. They are going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend who was a spy. They will torture me to death. So that was exactly word for word what he tweeted. And right after that, he was found dead. So, but what happened later on, his family actually did not really suspect any kind of foul play, because this young millionaire, Nikolai, actually had a history of mental health problems. But nevertheless, a few of his friends and co-workers have accepted the unproven claims that his death was strange. And yet again, conspiracy theories have spread online and among the tiny but close-knit Puerto Rican crypto community, as of course as a result of Mushigan's passing. And a lot of people still think that, up to today, a lot of people still think that that tweet was just too strange. And what happened thereafter, they could not find a proper conclusion to it as well.
And with that, it brings us to the end of part 1 of our podcast. We'll see you guys again next week. Goodbye. The information contained in or provided from or through this podcast is not intended to be and does not constitute as financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other form of advices. The information in this podcast is general in nature and is not specific to you, the users, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, be it financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented in this podcast without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory. You understand that you are using any and all information shared in this podcast at your own risk. You are solely liable for any losses that you may incur from investing, and in no event shall we be liable for any losses which may be incurred while investing. Trading of cryptocurrencies is highly risky and may not be suitable for the general public. All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own current opinions and do not reflect the opinions of ABCC. Participants' opinions are based upon information they consider reliable. ABCC does not warrant the completeness or accuracy of such information and should not be relied upon as such.